This is the Sunshine Cathedral perspective. Nun admits to secretly blessing gay couple. Roman Catholic Sister Anna Koop admitted to blessing a gay couple, one of whom was a personal friend, 15 years ago because they were in love, and Jesus did not say love was confined. The 85-year-old told CBS News that she was aware she might face consequences from the church, but went ahead with the private blessing anyway. In her own words, she blessed the love they celebrate. In early October, LGBTQ+ groups praised Pope Francis for saying that same-sex couples could have their unions blessed. Sister Koop, who became a nun in the late 1960s and has spent her career mainly in Denver focusing on homelessness and poverty, said the Pope's support of same-sex couple blessings made her feel that her blessing 15 years ago had been supported. In the Church of England, however, blessing services for same-sex couples may be a considerable way off. The Bishop of London, Dame Sarah Mullally, has said it's unlikely that such services will take place before 2025. The delay comes amid what Mullally called a time of uncertainty for the church due to division over the General Synod announcing in February it would continue to prevent priests ordaining same-sex marriages, but blessings would be offered instead. Well, first of all, yay, sister. That was a very courageous act. Nuns are not ordained, so they're lay people, right. Mm-hmm. But they have a special ministry, mm-hmm. and that ministry involves vows, including the vow of obedience.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So she chose to obey her conscience rather than institutional power structures, and that was very brave and moral. I mean, so good on her, taking the side of love, and especially at a time when there could have been some risk. This is what allyship is, mm-hmm. by the way. Yeah. Not just saying you like certain kind of people or you don't have anything against certain kind of people, or putting some coins in the bucket when it comes by at a parade or whatever. Those are all great things too. But when you share the risk, when you use the privilege you have and risk your privilege, maybe you lose it if it goes a certain way, but you risk that for the side of what you think is right. That's what allyship is. A lot of people say they're allies. People like this nun show that they are allies. So God bless her. And about the Church of England, I have less gracious feelings about that. In fact, I've said so in the pulpit, mm-hmm. and have received a little bit of challenge about it. But I just think that I'm very angry at the whole situation. My soul is still Anglican. My brain is just Christian, barely Christian, but my soul is 100% Anglican. And so I think I take it personally that, when they do badly, when they do wrong. I'm not an Anglican priest. I may not attend an Episcopal Mass 20 more times in my whole life, but still I have that personal identity. And so I just want them to do better, because the people who shaped me in a very progressive worldview, but the church in New Zealand, the church in Canada, and the church in the United States has always been more progressive than the rest of the Anglican communion, mm-hmm. and that's what Sister's problem is. This Dame Mullally, or what the Church of England's problem is, that they are trying to symbolically hold together people who don't think women should have any voice or power in the world, who don't think LGBTQ people should even, have mm-hmm. any protection at all. And so they're trying to keep homophobes and misogynists and racists and colonialists and all together in this communion. And that unity is what they value so much. And the people who get hurt by unity at all costs are always the people who are in the margins. Mm-hmm. If the people in the majority don't get their way, they haven't been hurt. They may feel insulted, they may feel angry, they may feel like things didn't go the way they wanted to go, but their lives aren't at risk. Mm-hmm. Their families aren't destroyed. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So I really hate that it's so political. It's so that you basically need to be an ambassador, a secretary of state, to even work in these institutions to get things done. And it's always, well, let's wait. Mm-hmm. And some people have been waiting for centuries, and mm-hmm. it's just ugly to say, well, wait a little bit longer while we convince other people who we convinced 300 years ago that you were scum. Now give us another few minutes to convince them that you're not. No wonder people are sick of religion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'll even remind, Dame Molly of even probably her process of how long that she had to wait to become a deacon.
Yeah.
How long
Yeah, exactly.
how long she had to wait to become a priest. What rules had to be changed to allow her in that process now to hold the office that she now currently holds. And why would you not be minded of your own process and still telling other people we're going to other you for a little while longer because the timing is not right. Even in her process, I don't know how many times she had to hear the timing is just not now. And when people come to those positions of authorities, they have an obligation to make those paths that they've gone through a little bit easier for somebody behind them. And for me, she's just placeholding right now. Just think of your own journey, your own process, and say never again to anyone else. Let's open the doors up and be done with it.
Now, she's not being as courageous perhaps as our Catholic nun friend was, but we don't know how she feels. She may be secretly on our side. That's useless to us. She may be secretly
That's all of
on
that.
our side, but feels like as a bishop she has to represent the status quo and the party line or whatever. And that's the problem. And I've seen this in academia, that the most radical professors that just cause the most headache to everybody, eventually they become a dean, and that kind of shuts them up. You can't really attack what you are. So once they put you in the system, and that's how they often silence dissent, is with promotion. This woman may be 100% on our side, but if they make her a bishop, we'll never know it.
Right.
And now we have had in our world people like Bishop Spong and Bishop Harris and
rock the boat.
Yeah, I'm saying. Bishop Charleston. So our bishops don't necessarily feel compelled to protect the institution at all costs. But in most of the world, that would not be true for Methodist, Lutheran, Episcopal, Catholic bishops. They would
Bless her.
They'd feel the need to protect the company.
Right. What I'm thinking of when I hear this story, and it seems like there's two little separate stories. The nun who blessed the couple 15 years ago.
Yeah.
How far have we come in 15 years? I mean, 15 years ago, that was a risk.
Yeah.
That was a big risk. And okay, she did it. Maybe the other woman, Mullally, named Mullally, would take a note, a page from this, and say, you know what, maybe it's time I need to step up too. I hope that she does.
And most of us were Vatican II babies. We were born during or shortly after that. Of course, Kevin remembers the Council of Nicaea, but the rest of us were later the Vatican II. And I was kidding, it was the Council of Trent. But anyway, so I would expect this of nuns. Like these are the nuns that I know. That, I remember in the 90s, this nun who was a spiritual director to some friends of mine. They were Protestant and gay, and but she was their spiritual director, and they wanted her one time to they wanted to share communion with her, and they wanted her to be the celebrant. She struggled with if she, she finally did it. She cried. Probably the only time she'd ever done that. Well, certainly was the only time she'd ever done that. And so that kind of pastoral response. Okay, it's against the rules, but this is important to you. This will be healing in some way. I'm going to go with this. Those are the nuns I have known. Now understand, before that, nuns were with the rulers and the rule enforcers and the harsh teachers or whatever. I've never known those nuns. I'm from a different. In fact, at least half the nuns I've known don't even wear habits. But this is the pastoral response I would expect from all the nuns that I've known personally.
And maybe we can hope that she will take a page. That Mullally will take a page from.
It's funny, listening to you talking about nuns and everything. I grew up in, a church where women had no voice at all. I grew up in an African-American Northern Baptist church where at the church I grew up in, a woman was not allowed in the pulpit until 2006. So when I hear about nuns and being empowered, it gives me some hope. And it's interesting because 15 years ago was what, 2008? So you had a 70-year-old nun who had the wherewithal to bless a couple, and she knew she was at risk. She found her voice, and that's what I take from this, that people are still finding their voice, finding a way to do things that may not go well with the establishment, but darn it, they're going to move it forward as much as possible.
Yep.
Good for them.
One life at a time.
Yep.
Yeah.
Next up, we are excited to tell you about our next adventure with our Global Fellowship. In 2024, we'll be going to where the hills are alive as we explore Austria and Alpine Europe for Gay Oktoberfest. Space is extremely limited, so make sure to go to happeningout.travel/sunshine to reserve your space now.
Would you like to join the Queer God Squad on a special winter cruise in 2024? Well, now you can. You will visit Cozumel, Mexico, Grand Cayman, and Ocho Rios. And you can even add an open bar and Wi-Fi. Join us by going to happeningout.travel/sunshine.